Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Parth, and in this video we are starting a new series which is a SQL series. I came across a really interesting platform which is Data Lemur, and they have gone ahead to list a lot of questions, SQL questions which have appeared in interviews for specific companies, and they also highlighted which companies these questions appeared in. So I'll be going ahead and trying to solve these problems, and in the process also try to explain how I approach these problems. Hopefully it'll be of help for you. The reason I chose this platform was basically it's free, so you don't have to pay anything. And when I was looking at LeetCode and like other platforms, they were like super expensive and the SQL questions were not openly available as well. So I mean, hence I'm here. Let's get started with the first question, and we'll see how things go in the process. So the first question has been asked during LinkedIn interviews, and the first question states, given a table of candidates and their skills, you are tasked with finding the candidates best suited for an open data science job. You want to find candidates who are proficient in Python, Tableau, and PostgreSQL. Write a SQL query to list the candidates who possess all of the required skills for the job. Sort the output by the candidate ID in ascending order. Okay, and they also go ahead and highlight an assumption that there are no duplicates in the candidate table to start off with. So let's have a look at what all columns we have. We have candidate ID, we have skill, and here we have an example table as listed here. And the output would look something like this, because here we see that only candidate ID 1 to 3 seems to have all the required skills mentioned here. So let's first try to get a feel and sense of what sort of queries we run, and we'll go ahead and try to iterate and build on that to have a query that actually ends up solving the answer. So, I mean, as the first step, I just simply want to go ahead and list the candidate ID and skill in that table and see how that table looks like here. I believe it's an example table. So I want to go ahead and list the candidate ID, skill from candidates. And one of the features I also like is this auto completion here. So if you're writing SQL commands, it'll automatically show what you might be interested in. So yeah, I mean, here we can see what the data looks like, have a sense of it, and then try to go ahead and build on that query, so to say. So what we essentially want to do is we want to in a way have some mechanism of finding that all those 3 skills are in that ID, and if it is the case, then we go ahead and list those ID at the end of the day. So let's first try to build and filter for rows that contain the mentioned skills. So like I would say where skill in, and I will list all the skills which have been requested here. So the first one is Python, the second one is Tableau, and then we have the PostgreSQL. Okay, so right now at this stage we have filtered all the rows that do not contain these skills which we want to filter our candidates on. So we have done away with some sort of redundancy here. Now what we have to make sure, or now what we want to do is, so we have 3 skills here mentioned, And we know that any candidate would actually be a fit for this position or a job if they have all the three skills. So as long as there are three rows corresponding to a candidate, it would mean that they have all the three skills. So I want to go ahead and count how many rows is a candidate having in this table. So what I want to do is I want to say count skill as skill count, and I want to group it on the ID. Group by candidate ID. This would in the end give me a candidate ID and the corresponding count for that ID. And as long as that is 3, it means that candidate satisfies the requirement I have to start off with. So here I have all the candidate IDs, and I have the number of skills they match with the job. And I do see there are some of the candidates that do not meet the requirements, hence I'll have to go ahead and filter them out. So the mechanism of filtering is I'll go ahead and say I only want the rows which have count skill equals to 3, and I'll also go ahead and run an order by command at this point. Candidate ID. So here I've been able to go ahead and filter the candidates that have all the skills which have been mentioned, and this should solve our problem. But what we want to make sure is that the output is in line with what is expected from us. So we can drop this count as skill count. That was just to show like what we are trying to generate out of it, and this should give us the IDs. Now we have to make sure the order is in line with what is expected out of us. Sort the output by candidate ID in ascending order. I'm not sure if the syntax is correct, but this should pretty much be it, I think. Yeah. So let's try to submit it and see if it accepts our solution. Yeah, it seems like our solution has worked out well. Hopefully you found the explanation clear enough. If something was not clear enough, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to improve.